fuck up.
Back in the 70s, board games and improv theater had a baby, and it was called the role-playing game. These games allowed a generation of kids to live out their dreams of slaying dragons and saving kingdoms, all while sitting in their bedrooms and basements. Today, gaming has moved into the cultural mainstream, and role-playing games are back with a vengeance. Join us now as 5 of these former kids come out of the basement and onto the internet to experience adventure, mystery, and obscure pop culture references. It's time for Roll for Combat!
Hey everyone, welcome to Roll for Combat. I'm your GM and host Stephen Glicker, and in this week's episode, the boys begin Book 5 of the Dead Sun's Adventure Path. I give you a quick recap for anyone new joining us here at Roll for Combat, and I discuss some upcoming events going on at the Roll for Combat Discord channel and the Roll for Combat podcast. So welcome anyone who is brand new to the Roll for Combat podcast who's joining us for the first time. This is the beginning of Book 5 of the Dead Sun's Adventure Path, and we are up to episode 91. Now, does that mean you need to listen to all prior 90 episodes of the Roll for Combat podcast? Well, you can, but you don't have to, because I'm going to give you a quick recap of everything that has occurred up to date. That's right, although the adventure path itself has a lot of, well, adventure, if you will, and a lot of combat and shenanigans and character development and enemies getting slayed, really the main story is all you need to know, and it's really not that complex. So let me jump right into it. What happened is that our intrepid adventurers came across a strange piece of machinery that seemed to be ancient in nature, and it turns out that this piece of machinery was actually part of a much larger weapon called the Stellar Degenerator. The Stellar Degenerator is basically a Death Star that can blow up and destroy an entire system. It actually is Starkiller base, if you will. It actually will destroy the sun of any system, and then of course all the planets within that system will, well, shrivel up and die. After our heroes discover this, of course, the bad guys also discover this as well. And in this case, there's 2 groups of bad guys. There's the Cult of the Devourer and the Corpse Fleet. The Cult of the Devourer is, well, a group of cultists who want to do nothing except bring the end of all life to the universe. So they pretty much just want to kill everything. So they're very interested in finding this weapon. The other group is a little bit more enigmatic and has sort of been hiding in the shadows, and that is the Corpse Fleet. The Corpse Fleet is an offshoot of the undead world Eox. Eox, who are undead, are actually the good guys in this adventure. That's right, in the Starfinder universe, the undead are good guys. However, a small faction of undead who wanted nothing to do with the living broke off and formed what's called the Corpse Fleet. And they, well, want to kill everyone, or at least kill all the living people and make everyone undead. And they're considered radicals by Eox and all, well, good undead. So, both of these groups are looking for the Stellar Degenerator, and both groups seem to always be one step ahead of our heroes. The last book, Book 4, the heroes managed to actually find the ancient civilization that made the weapon, but the civilization sort of became Mad-Maxed and went from super advanced mega power that control the stars, the sun, the planets, and the universe itself, and now uses like bows and arrows. So they have fallen from grace. In this adventure where the Roll for Combat guys were playing with the natives, they managed to discover that, of course, they were one step behind the Cult of the Devourer, who got there a little bit before them and managed to find out the final location of where the Stellar Degenerator is. The Stellar Degenerator is hidden in a demiplane somewhere way off in the distant part of the galaxy. Something called the Gate of the 12 Suns. So now we pick up with our heroes who are leveling up to level 10. they're about to get ready to go chase everyone, go to this gate of the 12 Suns, track down these cultists, hopefully stop them from opening the gate and kill them once and for all. However, this is some ancient civilization that's totally hidden in a part of the universe that no one's ever been to, and no one has any idea what to expect. So these guys also have a feeling that they're never coming back to civilization ever again. They're either going to win the fight or die trying. So they have to be very careful in how they level up their characters and what gear they're going to be bringing with them, because all those credits and everything they have, this is it. They're probably never ever going to get to spend them again. So that's where we pick up with our characters at Absalon Station, getting ready to go to the Gate of the 12 Suns. Oh, and what about the corpse fleet, you say? No one knows. They kind of have been appearing here and there, but so far they've been pretty quiet. I guess we'll never hear from them ever again. So there we go. You have been recapped on 90 episodes. That was really not too hard now, was it? For those of you who want to know more about the show and kind of how it works and what we're all about, I strongly suggest you listen to episode 0, and where I go through a detailed overview of the show, our background, the experience, and so forth. Something else I want to let you know is that our community is quite vibrant. And if you go to the Discord channel, which you can go to at discord.rollforcombat.com, you'll find a very friendly group of people who will be happy to talk to you about all things role-playing. And we play a lot of games. That's right, we are always playing Starfinder, Pathfinder, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and sometimes either other games. We actually play with a method called play by post, or in this case, play by Discord, where instead of sitting down in front of a table or playing over a virtual tabletop on the internet, you're doing it all through text. Now, you've probably seen this before. Sometimes people do it on bulletin boards, but the advantage of doing it in a Discord is you have a lot more options available to you. You have like colored text, you can put in images. It's also much, much faster. So if you like a faster paced game, play by Discord is the way to go. We're always starting brand new games, and with the advent of Pathfinder 2nd Edition starting in just a few weeks, we're going to be starting a huge number of new games. So definitely check that out if you're interested in joining us in playing. Also note, on the show I often have GM and PC tips. However, ironically, I will not have one this week because I actually have to go to the airport in just a few hours, and I got to get this episode done, because if I do not get this episode done, it will not be posted for another week, because I am going to another country where I will not be able to easily post new episodes. So I just got to get this finished, and there's a lot more to do. So, new people, welcome to the show. Enjoy the ride. I think you're going to have a good time. People have been with us. Here we go. The beginning of the end, if you will. For those of you who know Dead Sons, Book 5 and Book 6 are a crazy, crazy ride. They're just nuts. It's like edge of your seat adventure. It's actually probably my 2 favorite books. I've been really excited to see how they get into it, what they do, and all that fun stuff. But with that, let's get right to the episode. So here we are. We're beginning Book 5 of Dead Sons. Everyone managed to survive Jason Keeley's opus and is more or less alive. Well, Cheddar didn't quite make it, but everyone else is more or less alive from the super epic, annoying combat that would never end that went 30 plus rounds. You guys all make it back to the station. You get all cleaned up. You're level 9. Tuttle now has a nice new glow to him. Akiro got rid of all the spikes and the other garbage, and now he looks more like a proper Hell Knight. Cheddar, we'll find out if he's been rebuilt. Mo's pretty much the same. And Rusty has a nice new sheen on him. It's as if he's been spit and polished at the car wash. So with all that, tell me about all of your characters. What did you do? What did you buy? What did you level up in?
And in fact, on that point, I'd like to actually start if nobody else objects.
Bob Marquis is playing the human envoy Rusty Carter.
Yes, we'll go in the order that it's...
Roll a diplomacy to allow that.
Chris Beamer is playing the tiefling technomancer Akiro the Just.
Right.
That is exactly what's going to happen right now. Before we started recording, I asked everyone what their default attitude towards Rusty is. Mo is indifferent to Rusty, and Dr. Tuttle and Akiro appear to be unfriendly towards him. On the long, long voyage home, because at level 9 I've upgraded my diplomacy skill, I would like to give them a rousing speech to improve the actual opinion of the crew towards Rusty himself. This means I'm going to be making my diplomacy roll after an extended 20-minute speech, and you'll be all making your sense mode rolls against me.
Wait,
Okay,
diplomacy it doesn't go against sense motive. It goes against something else.
Okay, whatever you'd
It's a
like to
DC
roll.
or something, isn't it?
It is DC, that's absolutely correct.
Do I get a bonus for Rusty talking through my cabin door?
John Statz plays the Vesk soldier, Mo Dupinsky.
When he's actually giving
Sadly, no. It's while you're actually on deck at some point. It'll be several days for home. I'm
While
going
you're
to
at
catch you all.
attention.
Yeah, while you're at attention and on duty.
While I'm
making my diplomacy roll. I'd like to let you know in advance, if I make my roll, it will improve your attitude towards me 1 level, and if I make it by five or more, it'll improve you by 2 levels. So even you unfriendly people will move up to friendly.
So much like those GMs that make people who play bards actually sing, which by the way is like the most annoying thing in history, I want Bob to give me the 20-minute speech that you are going to give them. Although, I will say you could abridge it down to 1 minute. How about that?
Thank you. I'm prepared at this time if you are as well.
Yeah, I'm prepared. Let me take
All
it.
right. Excuse me. I'm going to take a little sip, clear my throat, and all right, I'm ready. Crew. Mo, Dr. Tuttle, new guy who took Hiroji's place. I'm glad that you're all here to listen to me. It seems that over the last few weeks that we've been involved in a number of different, very difficult situations, and I'm proud. I want to say proud of all of you for following my lead and achieving victory, therefore. I know some of you who've actually been cowardly. I mean, Mo ran away in that last fight like 3 times, but nevertheless, we all held together by telling him to just buck the hell up, and we actually won the fight, therefore. I mean, Hiroji, we don't know, whatever. Let's not worry about that. But the point is that we all stood together as a team. And I want to talk about teamwork, where there is a me in team. When I say me, I'm referring to me, your leader. My name is Rusty Carter. What I think that we all need to do going forward is that we also have to realize that a team is only as good as its weakest link, and we all know that I am not that weakest link. It's possibly one of you. I'm not going to name names. But at the same time, we all moving together forward will definitely achieve victory in our quest to achieve victory. Look, I'm not going to worry about what exactly our goal is, but that we're going to achieve victory in our goal, and that's what's important. Let me also remind all of you at this time that we're going to achieve victory because we're all following my leadership throughout all of this, regardless of all of your independent and individualistic and probably solipsistic, actually, opinions of yourselves as being the only ones that matter. So, when we get to this final Death Star-like ultimate weapon, I want you to know that I have faith in all of you to follow my leadership to achieve victory and making me the king. I'm making us the king of all of them under my leadership. There we go. Good job, guys.
You just won Florida.
Clap, clap, clap.
Yes. Akira, for one, claps in excitement at this rousing speech and is very impressed.
All right, I'm making my diplomacy check now.
Oh, wait, I forgot to turn on the recording. Can you do that again, Bob?
Shut up.
Now recorded.
Okay, because I actually got a
34.
17 roll, I'm going to add a d6 plus 2 to that.
Why not? Try to get to a 40.
Yes,
Oh my
actual
God.
diplomacy roll is a 42.
Wow.
Well, the DC was 23.
Yes, it was, and since I cleared it by 5 minutes, I can talk for another 10 minutes, according to the mechanics, and actually improve your level of opinion towards me by 2 levels instead of 1.
Okay. You had me at victory.
That's great. So for my extra 10 minutes, I'm going to do the short form of Mo. You've been looking great recently. I think you've obviously shined your armor at least once. Akira, it's great. You know what? Your horns are not nearly as annoying as Hiroji's antenna. And Dr. Tuttle, I really appreciate all that work you've done, being Chatter's assistant.
And somehow Tuttle does not take that personally.
Jason McDonald is playing the Ahsoka mechanic, Tuttle Blacktail, and his drone, Cheddar.
For reasons he can't quite comprehend.
All right, so that's all I did with my level. I vastly increased my diplomacy, and I decided to use it on all of you. I'm now done.
You know, the thing is, this only lasts for 24 hours. Oh!
Oh, I understand. I'm willing to do it daily.
Oh my god.
We're gonna have daily affirmation sessions.
No, nobody else is, but still, I think it's about time.
Well, I, for one, appreciate a strong leader.
It's going to be Rusty's daily affirmation. In fact, Rusty is going to become Tony Robbins and release an app and a series of tapes and CDs where he makes you feel like you can be your best you.
Yeah, but wouldn't we eventually build up a tolerance to Rusty talking? And we
Sadly, there's no mechanic to that, interestingly enough, unless I fail. If I fail, you get 24 hours immunity. That does happen.
There's no diminishing returns.
As long as he gives you a new tape every week, I think no diminishing returns because there's no reruns.
It's L. Rusty Hubbard.
What is Rusty's alignment? I'm curious.
You know what? Buck up, little camper. Don't you worry about that.
Are you lawful?
You know what? Your labels are very interesting, but you know what? I think what's important is that I have a message for everyone.
Mm.
Or OOC, he's true neutral, if you haven't figured that out by now.
Yeah.
Rusty's alignment is Rusty.
Yeah, it's mutable.
Rusty Carter, I'm willing to believe you.
Changes to the situation. Well, I'm neutral also, but I'm lawful.
So did Rusty do anything else, or did he just make himself prettier and smooth talker?
He also boosted up a little bit on the concept of some of his secondary skills. In this case, that actually meant disguise, stealth, and piloting. He actually maxed out his skills in those. But actually, his envoy special ability for the level, he actually did improve his diplomacy, so that I could actually have the option to either re-roll or add my die to it.
Oh boy. Kiro, what did you do? And the Squawks is right next to you, by the way. You guys need to come up with a name for him.
Yeah, I'm going to figure that out. Let's see. I did a lot. Akiro, being user of the magic arts, has gained another 3rd level spell, which I will not spoil right now. We'll see it in action.
That's good.
See it in action. He did a lot of things.
Improved magic mirror. I mean, improved.
Yeah,
mirror.
improved mirror image. God, if they had such a thing, I would take that. If that was the only spell I had, I would take that. You see that his armor has been, all of those skulls and sigils and spikes and things have all been removed, and it's been replaced with sort of a sheen to it. It's got a carapace, Kefak carapace, and it is a composite that is from the exoskeleton of a mature Kefak insect, and which are highly resistant to radiation. So this allows his armor to be very, very resistant to radiation as well. And if that ever comes into play, we'll go into that. He's also got a couple cool things on his armor. One of which is just a clip that he can carry something like a light or some other piece of one-handed equipment, like his data pad, I guess, is on there now. And he also he presses a button, and inside his armor, a little cage opens up, and he motions the Squawks to come into his pet carrier. So he can hang out in the pet carrier in the armor. So you got that cool little thing. Also, just a lot of basic gear. I got some restraints, engineering kit. I have the motion detector, X-ray visor. I got a bunch of healing serums. I got a Starfinder backpack, which I'm the only one who didn't have that. I thought I made a great discovery, but it's really good for keeping your bulk down and being able to retrieve objects quickly. Mainly, he spent most of his money on tricking out his weapon. His weapon looks nice now. He put a fusion seal on there, which is something that the Hell Knights use when they're trying to, maybe try to kill and incapacitate. But it's something that can knock someone down with a blast if he's lucky, and can prevent them from using spells for one round, which is nice. He also tricked it out with some external devices, like a Uniclamp, which he now has his motion detector attached to, so he can do motion detection while he's wielding his gun, because it's attached to his weapon, and he can activate that by a button that's near his trigger. Also, a laser scope, which greatly improves the range and accuracy of his weapon. So he did that as well.
I have a question when you're done.
Yes. Also, now he can breathe underwater naturally.
Is that your? That's probably your level 3 spell right there.
Nope. That is. You can see that there's some surgery had been done to the side of his neck, and you see what looks like gills on the side of his neck.
Demon gills.
Yes. So he is now able to breathe in the water. I mean, who knows? Situational. Could be fun.
Yeah.
It's an augmentation.
Okay, I have a question about
yeah.
the gun. Aren't you somebody who casts magical spells in some way?
Yes. As you've seen.
Why do you have a gun?
Well,
He doesn't have that many spells.
It's better to have a gun and not need it than to need a gun and not have it. That's why.
Actually, that's a better answer than I expected. But still, my point was, shouldn't you have all these special abilities on the non-gun spells?
No. These are all technological devices for the most part. They're
right.
not. There's the steel is magic, but the other thing, but that also makes the weapon have magic property, which I think is important. And all the other stuff, laser scope, uniclamp, those are all just technology.
Okay, and you also boosted up all of your healing spells, right?
I'm not trained in divine magic. I have arcane magic.
Oh, okay. All right.
Speaking of which, did Rusty take any ability to heal stamina as an envoy this level?
I'm going to refer you to my lawyer at this time, who has some answers for you. You'll have to actually submit it in writing.
Yeah, that was a nice thing we discovered when I played. Yeah.
It's amazing how everyone is so resistant to healing. No one wants to be the party healer. Shame.
Well,
if I could heal, I would, but I can't. So
you are a mystic. You can heal with just the decision to
I am
do
not
so.
a mystic. I'm a technomancer.
Oh, please.
That's totally different.
I've been waiting. It's been like several months, and you finally figured out that he's actually not a mystic. Actually, you never.
I figured that out long ago. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Technomancers have no healing. Only mystics.
It really doesn't matter. It's basically okay. Technomancer is I am a mystic, but I want to be cool. I'm a mystic that's wearing cool mirror shades in the 80s.
Oh, speaking of which, I am wearing cool mirror shades.
You
I thought maybe he was like the Witch Warper class from the playtest, but I figured he wasn't a mystic, though.
I'm a very odd build because...
You're not Duck.
Yeah, because I'm wearing heavy armor, and I use a long rifle, both of which technomancers are not proficient in, but I am.
You could have taken the Star Knight.
I know. I rejected that for some reason. I forget why, but I did look at it. You always have to give up stuff when you
Didn't have to give him much, and you would have gotten the heavy armor for free and something else for free. I thought it was actually pretty good, but whatever. Oh, you get one less spell. You had one less spell. That's what it was.
I don't like having less spells.
That's true.
Wait, you wear light armor? Wow.
Did Mo do anything? Did Mo even bother, or did he just literally go to the bar, say, "Give me another 30 healing serums," and call it a day?
No, Mo got some stuff. Yes, he did get some healing serums. He blew a lot of money on. He's now 30 Mark 1 healing serums, and he has 5 Mark 3 healing serums. That's where he spent the bulk of his money. But he also got a rope. He was needing a rope. So.
And how much did that rope cost you?
It was 1 credit.
1 credit.
I think I bought at least 2 ropes.
You did. You guys learned your lesson and said, you know what? Let's spend the 1 credit on rope. You never know.
Well, we had rope before. It's just the character that carried the rope frickin' went to another dimension.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
I mean, that's how we got our ship. Is we had mouse on a rope. Remember?
That's right. Actually, do you remember that when we were in PaizoCon and we didn't have rope? Actually, Bob was with me. I think John was too.
Yep.
And that guy yelled at us because none of us had rope, and then we fell down a pit, and he yelled at us because he's like, "How can you be first level characters and not have rope?" And boy, did we learn our lesson.
Ha!
He was a little judgmental, I found, but yeah,
He
had a perfectly fair. He had a fair point
though.
that none of us brought rope. It wasn't that one of us didn't.
I know.
It's that none of us did, but still,
none of us did, and he was going off on us. That was really funny, actually. But I learned my lesson. I was like, you know what? You're right. Always bring rope. It's like never leave home without a towel. Oh, never leave home without a rope.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I can teleport and fly now, so it's not as important, but it is important. I mean, it's very useful. It's very flexible. You can tie someone up with it. You can drag things with it. You can do a lot of stuff with it.
But really more on topic, we were talking about Mo's upgrades, and I'm wondering if Mo finally upgraded his armor to be as good as my new armor.
Oh, no. Now, Mo is actually... Mo is at war with Paizo, and there's not enough money. There's not enough money in these adventures. I can't buy anything. I mean, maybe you guys can buy stuff as different classes, but like I have like a fourth of the money that I need for an armor upgrade, a weapon upgrade. I have like half the money I need for a weapon upgrade. So
you got a great weapon. You got a fantastic weapon. You just don't like being next to monsters. That's the problem. That's the problem.
As I was talking, the loot is crap. The loot has been very crap, and I haven't been able to upgrade to stuff. I've only taken drops. I'm quite happy taking drops, but yeah, I've got a new kinetic weapon, which is I've now upgraded from my level 2 pike to this awesome ultra thin longsword, which we took from that Solarian in the last fight, which it's doing, instead of doing 1d8, I'm now doing 4d8, which is quite a big upgrade in damage. But 0 frostbite rifle, good for range, and I've got a new laser arc round, but I'm actually looking at a different tab. So my new abilities is I have a new style of soldier. It's a hit and run. Mo is a blitz soldier who jumps into combat. This at least has some fighting upgrades. I gain an opening volley as a bonus feat, and I can use a oh geez, no, okay, so it's Hero Lab is now dying on me, so I can't read how it works. So
I have a question about this jumping out of fights. So you're saying you're not going to stand your ground and protect the rest of us?
I would read it, but I can't.
One of those 2 words was run.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's in and out. Where
it was probably run. The other word is probably fast, I think. So run fast, right?
No, you have hit and run.
Run away, maybe. Run ampersand hide.
Run and lounge.
Right, lounge.
Which one did you take? There's opening volley, nimble full side, duck and weave. There's a whole bunch here.
Well,
actually.
I'm trying
run and
to
hide
open
as
it,
Chris
but
suggested.
like I said, opening. It was opening volley, and I would like to describe that, but I have to go to the core rules to actually go to it because Hero Lab is not working.
In the meantime, though, basically your build for this level is how can you be our tank without actually being near the monster? Is that what I understand?
That's yes.
I'm not listening because I'm busy looking stuff up. Okay, I gain.
Yeah, I have it in front of me. Apparently, whenever you deal damage to an opponent with a ranged attack on your first turn of combat, you get a +2 circumstance bonus to your next melee attack against that opponent.
That's pretty nice.
Well, wait, let him read it because I don't know if that's what he has because there's a whole bunch of things there. What did you take?
Let's see. I used range weapons, but I can fight close. Fight close up. So people don't get attacks of opportunity. I think of changing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not. I think I read that.
Were you reading it? I put it in the chat.
Well, that's on one page, and then hit and run thing is 100.
That's all hit and run. Right. I copied the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I was looking at open volley. All right, so let's see. I get a bunch of stuff. I'll read them as I go. I am flustered right now. There's too many things to read right now. But basically, opening volley, I get. I can shoot. Let's see. God damn it! This isn't. Yeah, this isn't a description of open and volley. Yeah, okay. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you figure that out. Why don't we go to Aeon Tuttle, who's now glowing.
And also on his own, because I'm sure Cheddar will never be back ever again.
Well, first I'm going to do a little detour and tell you about the road not taken. I very briefly considered, as a role-playing thing, that the sort of the Aeon Tuttle thing would turn into a wholesale character shift, and I would start taking levels in either Technomancer or Mystic. But I was playing around with it, and I don't know. In the short term, we're like off to go fight the big bad, and I'd have like 2 extra spells, and it just didn't seem like it was really worth the trouble. so I ended up bailing out on that idea. But we almost had this sort of like the new religious transformation tunnel or whatever. So, but turns out though, on the other hand, level 9 is kind of a boring level for mechanic. I took I think I took nimble moves as my big feat, so I can like now move through difficult terrain, which is kind of nice. And Cheddar actually just took an extra speed, so he can now go 40. So it seems like movement is like the theme of this level. Speaking of which, Tuttle's big upgrade on the equipment side is he now has a jetpack. So he will now have the flying mouse as part of our repertoire. Also, to try to get a little bit extra oomph out of my new pistol, I put a Ghost Killer seal on it. So it now does full damage against incorporeal creatures.
Nice.
Yeah. And the one thing I did, and it's a little bit duplicative with what Mo already has, is the problem with my pistol is that the fuel cells for that are heavy comparatively compared to batteries. So I got myself an additional like Mark 1 null space container to put my fuel cells in. So to help with some of the storage issues.
Worth it, yep.
So, yeah, that's basically Tuttle. And, of course, at some point, we're going to rebuild Cheddar. At some point during the flight home, we will rebuild Cheddar.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happens to Cheddar as you rebuild him. So Cheddar was utterly destroyed, as you know, in that fight. And you went through and rebuilt him, made Cheddar Mark IV. Cheddar Mark III lasted for quite a while indeed. But Mark IV has some interesting properties because when you were building Cheddar Mark IV and working with the Goblin technology, the button got a little, let's just say you crossed the wires a little bit here and there. You're experimenting a little bit more, and you managed to unlock a hidden circuitry that has given you even more possibilities. All I'm going to say is before you used to roll in a 1d10 when you hit the button, now you roll a 1d100 when you hit the button. And there's way more outcomes than before. Hopefully the chances of seeing repeats will be much lower this time around. So
interesting.
Nice.
You also, what did you add? You made him faster. So now he is.
Yes, he's up to a foot speed of 40 now.
There you go.
Based on that information, Jason, could you actually update all the listeners from Cheddar's point of view how he's changed since the last level?
In a robot voice, please.
I'm not sure. Well, then again, you did give us the rousing speech, so...
I tried my best. I don't know how rousing it was for anyone else.
I liked it.
I was AFK.
And you look a lot better. You look like you cleaned up. Like you moved from unfriendly to friendly, Ikiro, so I would hope so.
Accessing additional subroutines, new subroutines and defensive paradigms available, additional land speed engaged as well.
I have a question for the GM. When we're done with Tuttle.
No, I say no to you. No. All right, what, John?
All right, so the text that you
about rope.
The text that you sent me, while it wasn't a description of opening volley, it does have. It's weird. Okay, so opening volley means whenever I deal damage to an opponent with a ranged attack on my first turn of combat, I gain a +2 circumstance bonus to my next melee attack against that opponent. Okay. Okay. So the thing that you posted me,
no, it's wrong. It's not wrong. It's just abbreviated because that's everything you get on hit and run.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. Please.
Okay, well,
please,
ignore that. Yeah. Ignore that then.
All right.
There, I deleted it. There, yeah, I'm looking at opening volley. That's exactly what it does.
Right, but hit and run soldier gives me something that doesn't make any sense.
No, it's just a style. The style gets you these free abilities. And
right, and at level 9, please let me talk. And at level 9, it gives me an upgrade that doesn't make any sense. And I was going to pick your brain to see if you actually understand what that means, or if that's truly like a mistake in the text, because that is the description of the hit and run soldier. At 9th level, they get a bonus to opening volley.
Doesn't work that way. Secondary style technique It's when you get a secondary style technique. For the purposes of these style techniques, treat your soldier level as equal to your soldier level -8. Hence, you only get hit and run level 1 ability. So you don't get all
level
those
9
for free.
doesn't. Okay, the point. Okay, that's okay and that's fine. But the point I'm saying is that I still don't understand.
You're not
what
level
that
9.
means.
You're not level 9. You're level 1.
I understand that.
Ability.
God damn. But if I was level 20, I still don't understand what that text means.
What are you looking at? What is it? What page?
It's what Steve sent me. It's the hit and run soldiers opening.
All it says
volley.
is opening volley. You get to use that in the very first turn. At 9th level, you can use it your first and second turn. That's it. That's all it means.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, opening volley happens over 2 turns. It's not a first round of combat thing. If I shoot during the first round of combat, then the second round of combat, I get a +2 bonus. When they say that I can do opening volley also on the second turn, that doesn't make any sense because, I mean, how would I
No, it says here, benefit. Whenever you deal damage to an opponent with a ranged attack on your first turn in combat, you gain a +2 bonus to your next melee attack against this. It's only your first turn. You don't get it your second turn. You get it 1 turn. That's a mistake then they made in this description. And I can point that out to Hero Lab. If you get 9th level, you can do it your first and second turn.
Right.
That's all it is. I'm reading it right here. Benefit. You get 1 turn of combat. That's it. Hence, opening volley. So if you attack with a ranged attack your first turn, then your next melee attack, whether it's the second turn or 8th turn or whatever turn, you can get...
a +2 circumstance.
Now, but the way it works, if it's +9, if you're 9th level, let's say you attack the first turn and you miss, you don't get the +2. But then you attack again with the ranged combat the second turn, you hit, then you get the +2.
Oh,
Now at this level, you don't get that. Like if you attack the first round and you miss, you don't get the +2.
So
you have to hit.
The way that reads, though, if you're level 9, you could conceivably get a +4. If you shoot the first turn, get the bonus. Shoot the second turn, get the bonus. And on the third turn,
if you could.
Melee,
No. But the melee attack must occur before the end of your next turn.
Yeah, it actually, Chris is right. It doesn't double. All it does is it gives you 2 abilities, 2 chances to hit them, and then do melee attack. That's all. It's not that great.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
I'll be honest, you will never get that.
No, I'll never ever use it. No,
it's 8 more turns.
Levels. Now, here's another question for the GM.
This all out.
Is the round of surprise count as the first round of combat?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's your first turn. That's your first turn. So that surprise round can screw you because you only get to do 1. Well, you can do your swift and you can do a standard. So, but you can't move. So anyhow, and then if you need to take your gun out, then you have to use your swift. Actually, I don't know what, because then it needs a move to get.
No, I'll walk around with my default character, just so you know, is to have my gun out. That's all right. How I'm walking around.
Yeah, I mean the surprise is good and bad. All right. Anyhow.
Oh, and I forgot to tell you my feet, by the way.
Oh yeah. And my feet. Oh, I haven't told you my feet yet.
I got more bad news for John, because if we find some heavy armor or power armor, it's going to me.
No, it's not.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's going to be a roll-off.
Well, this will be good.
Or a fight to the death.
I will now tell you the feat that I took. It's powered armor. That's the feat that I took for 9th level. Because
excellent.
That's the only way I can upgrade armor.
You know what the feat is I took
won't be getting powered armor.
Power armor, baby.
You will not be using any powered armor.
Both took powered armor. Really? The Technomancer took powered armor. Great.
It's crazy, right?
So, Mo, I do want to ask, what is your EAC and KAC? I want to make sure that you have the top among us all.
Oh, you're way higher than us.
Oh, is it better than yours? Oh, that's so sad.
Oh yeah.
What's yours, Bob?
Oh, I didn't mean to actually highlight that by trying to sort of armor shame you. I feel bad about the fact that
I might be able to armor shame you.
I'm not so sure. What is your armor?
What is my armor?
What is your EAC, KAC?
I'm asking you.
Oh my god, you guys.
EAC, 26 KAC, but I don't want to actually brag.
That's okay. That's actually not bad for you. It's not bad for you.
Oh, here we go.
EAC 26, KAC 28.
So you mean one better? So that
But-
bragging was one difference.
Right.
Yeah, well,
But
still
you
was
know
one.
what?
Yeah, that's
Still
fair.
matters. Actually, maybe
Wait,
because that
28 isn't 28 two better than
2
20?
more.
Yeah, two better. I was going by the AC, but yes, I understand. No, actually, that is better. That's impressive.
Yeah, I wear heavy armor. I don't play. And if
Really?
I
Do you have you not mentioned that in the last 2 minutes that you wear heavy
Right.
armor? We haven't
I
heard
want
that.
to. I need John to know that. Hear that a lot because heavy armor and
So
power
you're
armor.
going to be in the front with John. You're going to be right next to Mo. Toe to
Yes,
toe,
I think it's
He
great.
didn't say
fighting.
that.
Totally.
Yeah. There you
Well,
go.
that's actually specifically why, because I looked up Hell Knight again or Star Knight archetype again, and that's specifically why I didn't pick that because their one big ability, other than the proficiencies, is they have a taunt. They have an actual taunt.
So, Chris, I just want to make it clear.
I don't want that.
You
I don't
have,
want taunt.
you have the highest armor class, the ability to cast mirror image, and you have a taunt. I'm here.
No, I don't have a. I don't have a taunt. I don't have a taunt now.
But
I
okay,
could have taken
still,
it.
highest armor class, and you have the mirror image ability, so you're the tank. is
Oh,
what I'm
it gets
hearing.
better because I also have invisibility.
Well, there we go. That's not a tank ability, though.
What is he doing in the back? I think from now on, Cheddar has to put a shock collar on Akiro and force him to be in the front. Just constantly. Cheddar will attack you. You know what it's like? It's like in World War II when the Russians would retreat and they would fire on their own guys.
Yep.
If Akiro goes anywhere near the back line, Cheddar has orders to shoot Akiro. There you go.
Yep. It gets
Okay.
I'm
it gets
okay with
even
that.
better if you want me to keep elaborating because
Yeah, let's keep going. Let's hear how good it gets.
And he can fly. And he can fly.
and I can fly. And I took enhanced resistance kinetic, so now I have a 6 damage resistance against
No, it keeps going.
and 5 cold and 5 electricity and 5 fire. But
He's
that's
had one half of an adventure, and he's he's got. How are you invisible? How do you do that? Is that a natural ability?
it is powers beyond your comprehension.
Wow,
Yeah, you need to be very smart to be able to do that.
wow.
Yeah.
Mo is not very smart.
Yeah, I know. Everyone has their place.
Dr. Tuttle must have that because he is very smart.
Dr. Tuttle has the beginnings of that, yeah, but it takes a lot of discipline. He spent his time in the classroom.
Hmm.
I spent my time in the school of hard knocks.
Sure. Yeah,
All
I
right.
get that.
Did we talk about Cheddar's upgrades? I think
A little bit, but not much.
I don't know if we were done.
He
with that.
moves faster, and his button has been massively upgraded, and he
Okay.
might shoot a little better.
But Mo's feat was power armor, and Akiro just said he also took power armor as well.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I was joking about that.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. And I have enhanced resistances.
Oh.
That's what I took to get the 6 kinetic.
No, John, we're giving you a lot of trouble, but you are in fact still the frontline fighter.
No, yeah, right.
But
Congratulations.
Yeah, right.
But
We
if there-
will not take from you your ability to stand there between us and danger. Don't you worry.
if there's
Yeah.
really good heavy armor, though, I'm going to have my eye on it.
You know, the most ironic part is when you get powered armor, you can wear light armor, and then whichever of your abilities is better, the EAC or KC, you get the better one. So
Really?
if you do get powered armor, Mo is going to have to go down to light armor. So now then there's going to a whole new fight occur because you can only wear light armor with powered armor. You can't wear
Really?
light armor. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Cool. Basically, you go inside of it. It's kind of like.
Oh, I could take Rusty's armor.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. You can
That'd be
take
perfect.
Rusty's
You know what?
armor.
Look, none of us want that, though. I think we can all agree on that. That's fine. I mean,
And I'll have powered hands, so I'll be super strong hands. I'll just rip that armor off of Rusty. I'll peel him like a grape.
That's right. Well, one of them is cargo lifter. That's like literally a powered armor. It's from Aliens. They just took it from Aliens.
Yeah.
So
do you
there
remember
go.
about 20 minutes ago when your opinion towards Rusty raised from indifferent to helpful? Where's the helpful? I want to see the helpful.
Me helping myself to your armor. There it is.
Not so helpful. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I like that because then I'll be the only one who needs heavy armor, so that's cool. I'm probably not going to go to power armor ever.
It's got to have some negative effects on your magic.
Nope.
Really?
It doesn't. Now it's
Why
different.
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't everybody go to powered armor then?
Well, I mean, for most
Well,
people,
they
it's
should.
2 feats to do it.
Oh. Well,
It took me a feat just to get heavy armor.
Also, you can only use it for a few minutes and then it runs out of batteries. Like, it's one of these things you almost have to... It's like Ripley. You have to just use it for one encounter and then you have to put it away. Like, you literally have to carry it around in a null sack. Because they weigh like 20, 30, 40 bulk. And they only last, like, maybe for, like, 4 minutes. And then they're done because the batteries drain. So you can't just walk around powered armor all the time. You have to just gear up, use it for a fight, and then, like, take it off. So...
Great.
At the end of the fight,
there's a
though-
lot of different kinds, though.
Well, anyway, maybe we'll find some power armor if that's the only way we'll get it.
You could buy it for 80,000.
Yeah, right.
You actually had enough to buy it, but...
Oh, you're out of your mind.
No, because you don't have the armory.
You
You don't have the armory. That's why. Because the army had tons
Steve,
more armor.
I have the armory. I looked through the armory.
Okay.
You're wrong. You're so wrong.
What's the cheapest one? No, I bet it's not that
It's
much.
like level 4, and it's about 10.
No, that's not the one I was looking
armor
at.
class is like
Spider harness was good.
half of what I have.
Spider harness could afford that, and that one's really good. Anyhow, with that, let's get going, shall we? You guys have anything you want to do while you're back at Absalon Station? Any last will and testaments you want to write? Any self-help books and tours you want to go on, Rusty?
I would just like
No, it's great.
I would just like to get my application to the Hell Knights certified and sent in for consideration.
Okay. You
I want the notary public to, sign off on that, and yeah, I want to become a Hell Knight.
Oh, I'm a notary public. I can sign that.
Oh, okay, please.
Yep,
Is
not
there
a problem.
fee? Is there a fee associated with that?
No, not at all. I'm happy to actually witness it and sign it, and just leave me with a copy of the documentation.
Yep.
That's totally going to get lost in the mail.
I hate to open one more can of worms, but do we want to consider upgrading the Sunrise Maiden at all?
Oh no!
No,
We actually don't have any money for it now. We forgot.
If we
about
die
it.
in combat, then we die in combat. I'm willing
You don't
to.
actually need money. The
Well, that's-
ship kind of levels up. The ship kind of levels up as a character.
It
Yeah,
kind of
we have no
does.
money.
I actually have a plan for that.
Yeah,
but I'm
well,
not
short
gonna-
term, we're visiting the Starfinder Society in Absalom to update them. So let's do that.
Short term is you show up, the ship drags itself in, and the Starfinders look at this and all roll their eyes, and they're like, "Oh God!" It's like, look at what the cat dragged in. What the heck? It's like The Expanse. They're like, "What did you do to my ship? What did you do to the Rossi?"
Yeah, the Rossi. Yeah, no, look, my point is, though, that eventually when the Rossi saves the universe for like the 4th time, they're all nice to them.
That ship is
Look what you
stolen.
did to my Rossi, my stolen Mars ship. You guys did steal this ship, by the way. So it is kind of like the Rossi.
No, we claim salvage rights.
So did they. She actually did will it to you, the woman who died.
Yeah.
She willed it to Hiroji, technically. So now it's sort of.
Oh.
And Hiroji willed it to us. I have a copy of the documentation where he willed it to us, if you'd like to see.
By us, do we mean you?
Yeah, I've got the documentation right here. Let me provide the documents to you.
Is your name on there?
Rusty
Sure,
Carter,
yes, it is.
space lawyer.
He does everything. He's part lawyer.
I'd like to
he's
re-roll that.
What?
He's doing.
Yeah, it's
lawyer
37
stuff.
on my block for my documentation, so let's go with that.
So you made a forgery? It's a forgery.
I said nothing of the kind. This is the documentation. Here it is.
Oh my
You understand
God!
the forgery mechanic is the same as a bluff roll, right?
Yeah.
I'm starting to realize that Rusty Bob might have broken Starfinder. You were like, I can do anything with one check. I just bluff my way through life.
Well, I can do a few things with one check. That's not the
He
same
can, he
as
can
that.
charm everyone.
As long as it's not combat, you're fine.
I actually had a couple of combat abilities, too.
As long
I
as
can't
it's
wait.
mostly not combat, you're fine. With that, they're gonna put the ship through some paces and might put a couple of surprise upgrades on the ship. We're gonna see and find out later because I got a little plan for the ship to make it work better and let's just say if you do get into starship combat again, it's going to go a little smoother this time, a little bit more fun. But let's not worry about that, shall we? So,
I'm sure we're not going to get any star combat. Why would we worry about that?
You're not. I'm making sure of that. And with that, you meet one last time. Literally the last time until the last episode that you are going to see good old Chessex. Chessex sees you all and says, yes, I'm glad you found the hero. What happened to Hiroji? Where did he show up?
Oh, Hiroji, right, yeah.
There was from what they tell me, there was a mishap.
Transporter malfunction, if you will?
Yes, that's what I heard.
Oh, that's most unfortunate. He owed me money. Well, anyhow, I'm sure we can take it out of your,
Oh, yeah. I'm not so sure about that, actually.
Rusty, talk to him about that.
Oh, Rusty's always good for a laugh, and he's always good. His credit's always good around here.
True.
Anyhow, with all of this going on, I see that you are nearing the end of this adventure. You seem to have found the Gate of 12 Suns. Hopefully you can destroy this super weapon once and for all before the nefarious cult finds it and destroys us all. So either you win or we all die. How exciting!
Yes. The cult of the Devourer must be destroyed.
Yes, and will, I'm sure, destroy the horrible weapon.
Your mind games don't work on me, Mr. Rusty. As you rolled terribly.
I also did roll terribly there.
You did roll terribly.
He rolled a 6 and a 4 for his
Yeah, I
bluff
know,
check.
but the reroll is the final one, and that's a 24 bluff. That's terrible. I want to see his sense motive, though. He has to take the lower 2 rolls.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does, actually.
No,
that's one of my
he
special
doesn't.
abilities.
No, not unless he has a counter. You don't know what he has.
I
One of
don't,
your-
but
okay.
one of my special abilities is the listener has to actually roll twice and take the lower.
Fine, I still beat you with a 7.
Really? With a 7? He has a 17
Yes!
sense motive. All right.
More than that. Way more than that.
All right. Well, I'm impressed. All
Your
right.
sense
then my
motives
bluff
for
failed.
him? Seriously? There's still only like 25 sense motives.
Then he absolutely saw through my lie. There it is.
I'm actually looking at the stats. They're in the mid-20s, so...
Impressive.
Rusty likes to joke.
Exactly.
Right. Rusty, you joker, you. Anyhow, I see you have a pet squawk. What is its
Yes.
name?
That's a good question. I'm thinking of calling it Igor.
Igor? What a peculiar name for a squawk.
Yeah, maybe even something like Hi Igor, because that has all the letters of Hiroji, just to honor his memory.
Why don't you just call it Hiroji Jr. or just Hiroji? That won't be confusing at all.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, I joke. Igor is a perfectly good name.
Have you thought about anything cheese related?
Oh, there you go.
Is it possible that squawk is Hiroji? Like maybe that's what
Anything
warped
is
into?
possible. I have magics that can warp. Well, we'll wait till we see that in action. But yes, it is possible. It is possible.
It's possible that Squawks is Hiroji.
Baleful polymorphed.
There you go.
I really wanted to join the party, so when you weren't looking, I polymorphed him to that.
Well, anyhow, it seems that everything is in order. We will fix your ship up, as it looks like it was attacked by some fearsome space beast. I can't remember seeing so much damage done to a starship, and still in one piece, that is.
Oh, yes. It was a horrible monster. I don't know where it was from. It tried to drag us down to the center of the planet.
At first, I thought it was pilot error, but I came to realize that it was not.
we had it all on film. Unfortunately, our recorder got busted, so we can't actually give it to our... That would have been great for the TV show.
So with that, I presume that everything you need is in order. Is there anything we can help you out with? Do you need any spit and polish? Any last-minute provisions that we could provide for you on this epic last adventure where you either save us or we all die?
Oh, yeah. Give me some power armor.
Oh, yes, we have a cargo lifter, a spare cargo lifter. Would you like that?
Sure.
Really? Nice.
Say yes. Why not? What can it hurt you?
Rusty, I need your armor now.
Take it.
You mean the armor you're wearing right now?
Yeah,
No,
I need you.
no, you're not taking that.
No, you
the
said
power,
take it.
the power lifter
Wait.
sounds fabulous.
Well,
Yeah,
the cargo lifter is level 4 and price $21.50. So it only gives you a +0 to your EAC and a +7 to your KAC.
Yay!
Hooray! It gives you a -10 to your armor check penalty for
Oof.
speed of 15 feet. And let's see, you can use it for 40 minutes. It does have a large space with a 5-foot reach. 34 bulk.
What does it do, though? What's the bonus of it?
You get a +7 to your KAC. That's what it is.
You don't get any strength bonus or
Yeah,
anything?
welcome to the world
Strength
of powered
plus-
armor.
Strength +5, but you can't use any weapons with it.
Oh, so it's basically for lifting heavy objects.
Yeah, and you get a -4 to all attack rolls if you're using it during a combat.
Right, it's not for combat.
So he's like, well, I don't know what you're going to be doing with the cargo lifter. I guess you have a lot of heavy items in your ship that need to be moved around because, as you well know, that is completely useless in combat situations.
We can use it to carry all of the loot we're going to find back to our ship.
Ah, excellent, excellent. Anything else we can help you with?
Yes. Do you have any extra high-capacity batteries?
High-capacity batteries. Why, of course. How many do you need?
I'll take 5.
Yes, I'll give 1 for each of you. 5 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nope,
You two
don't
cheddar
forget
get
Igor.
one.
And one
Don't
for cheddar.
forget Igor.
No, Igor doesn't need one. Only the characters get one. Squawks, Igor is a mascot at best. Or is that you, Akiro? I forget.
Oh no, I'm quite special. I'm pretty big deal.
So we hear. Anything else that can help you out?
Did you guys get rope?
I have rope already. I was going to ask
You
for-
know, you should always have rope with you whenever you adventure.
Always bring your rope.
How about a wayfinder?
Wayfinder? You're in the wrong game, my friend.
Actually, I think they exist.
I know, I
do
think they do exist in the Starfinder. I forgot what they're called. They might be in here. Hold on.
I think we're good to go, don't you? I think.
Oh yeah, Wayfinders. That's the name of the Starfinder Society faction. You guys good to go? Are you ready? Rock and
Absolutely.
roll?
Well, actually, do you have an engineering kit on you that I can just put in my backpack?
Of course.
It's not on my actual gear sheet though, so I just have to throw it there.
Oh, so you've been doing all your engineering checks at a -2 then. Quite nice.
Yes, I have. Exactly.
How pathetic.
Yes.
Okay. Well, are you ready? I'm putting you on the ship, and we're going to go.
Yep, ready to go.
Ready to go.
All right, with that, you guys get onto the ship. It's all sparkly and new. There appears to be some new pieces to it. They're all like covered. It's almost as if they will only appear when necessary in some opportune moment. Wouldn't want to spoil the surprise, now would we? We'll talk about that later. Hey everyone, Steve here. So there we go. You get to hear all about the level 10 characters and how these guys modified and changed it. It's a little longer than usual because, well, quite frankly, this is it. I keep trying to tell them they're not coming back. And I was kind of surprised they didn't buy more gear, especially Mo. I actually tried to help him and showed him some things he could buy here and there, but I guess he just wants to hoard his credits. But I guarantee they will never get a chance to spend them ever again. So I guess I might have to just drop things along the way for him to find so that his character can advance. The good thing is Book 5 and Book 6 do drop a ton of good loot for these guys, and they kind of anticipated this, so he should be set. Well, I will be interested to see what happens when they run out of healing serums. That is one of the problems when you don't have a dedicated healer in your party. It is true that these guys are really, really good, especially in Pathfinder, where you can just, get a ton of wands and not have to worry about having a party healer, and in this case, just get a ton of healing potions. But I have a feeling they will be running out before the adventure is over. I guess we'll just, see what happens. Believe it or not, if all of these guys TPK, I have a contingency plan. In a weird way, I almost hope they do, because I promise you it's going to be really, really cool what happens if they TPK. It's going to be unlike anything you probably have seen or expected, but I promise you the adventure will continue, just in a way you never expected. So a few fun facts. I actually signed up for a new service that tells where the Roll for Combat podcast tracks in the world. And yeah, we're pretty popular in the United States, but the countries where we're really popular, it's number 4 is Great Britain, which wasn't too much of a surprise. Number 3 was Brazil. I was kind of a little surprised about that. I was like, oh, Brazil, cool. Number 2 is Luxembourg. Okay, that one I did not expect. And number 1, where we're ranked 12th, believe it or not, is Angola. Angola loves Roll for Combat. So everyone in Great Britain, Brazil, Luxembourg, and Angola, how you guys all doing out there? We're happy you guys have joined us here at Roll for Combat. Keep up the great listening in that great country of yours. Something else that's fairly fun is listening to the characters kind of figure out what are they going to do once the adventure's over. Because a big part of a role-playing game, which not everyone always thinks about, is how to end it. And something I'm always very careful about is to come up with a very satisfying ending for characters, kind of an epilogue, if you will. And I already kind of like where Rusty's going, as he becomes like a Tony Robbins type of inspirational speaker. But in this case, it's going to be Rusty style. And Rusty, well, we're going to figure out exactly what type of self-help books Rusty would create. But he's kind of going down that path. I'm not exactly sure where the other guys are going to be going. Obviously, I had talked to them, see what they want to do, and kind of figure it out. I actually had a game once where I was playing, it was actually 4th edition D&D, and we got all the way up to level 20, and I had a pretty cool character where it turned out that, because my character was sort of evil, it turned out that it was a reincarnation of like the handmaiden of Loth. And she was like second in command for Loth. And then at the end of the venture, I basically did that. I went back to Loth and sort of became her second command. It was awesome. I really loved that backstory. And then actually in that same adventure, Seth's wife became a dragon. So she had a great ending too. Chris almost died, but that's the adventure I've mentioned before, is where he fell in a volcano and had exactly 1% chance to live, and did. And I can't remember what happened to Bob's character. Maybe Bob can tell us. But he was also in that adventure. So that's what I mean, where you really got to kind of think about an epilogue and like where you want your character to be. Because in the end, you might not remember the journey. Ironically, the saying is it's not the destination but the journey, which I still believe is true because that's the whole reason you're playing a role-playing game. But you will often remember where your character ended up. So it's very important to have a good ending for your character. Actually, there's my GMPC tip. Always think about where you want your character to end up, because the worst thing that can happen is you go through a very long adventure and then your character ends up like in jail or dead or just in a bad situation, and then for the rest of the time, whenever you think of that character, you have bad thoughts about that character. You go in a bad place and you don't remember the character fondly. So do think of that ahead of time, and do try to have almost an overall arc, if you will, of where you want your character to end up. Usually this will come naturally. You can try to plan in advance, but if you look at characters like Tuttle, I mean, Mo has pretty much been the same character from day one. Rusty has changed dramatically. He went from completely human to some like undead monstrosity. And then Tuttle has also changed quite a bit as well. Tuttle has sort of adapted and sort of become a little bit more accommodating of his surroundings. So it'll be very cool to see what happens. Chris, well, Chris has 2 characters, and Hiroji is not quite out of the picture yet. He might come back in the near future. Oh, all hail Hiroji. And then finally, I want to mention Gen Con. So, a few things about Gen Con. I'm running 2 games. I'm running the Pathfinder 2 Special, which is Thursday night. I'm running the Starfinder Society Special, Levels 1 and 2, which is Friday night. Now, the Pathfinder 2nd Edition table, right now, it is almost full. I only have 1 slot left. But right now, I am GMing Param from No Direction, Vanessa from No Direction, and Lauren from No Direction are all going to be sitting at my table, as well as John Stats from Roll for Combat, as well as a friend of mine who is also from Roll for Combat. So you'll have 3 people from Roll for Combat, 3 people from No Direction, and 1 free slot. And the good news is, you do not need a ticket to this event. I actually have a spare ticket. You can only sit at the table if you have a ticket. You can't use generic for this. So, if you're interested in joining us, let me know. Maybe I'll have a little contest and poll someone randomly. We still have about 4.5 weeks to go, so not a huge rush, but if you want in on this, let me know. Well, I'll start talking about it on Discord channel and see who's interested. Now, as for the Starfinder Society game, that one's a lot easier because right now it's just myself, John Stats, and my friend. Just the 3 of us from Roll for Combat. Now, I don't know if anyone from No Direction or any of the other podcasts would want to join us, but I'm going to reach out and see who else wants to join us, and I'm going to sort of give them first dibs. But then I will definitely open it up to the rest of the listeners. The thing is, to pre-muster a table, you actually need a full table, so I need to get 6 people. And on top of that, they all have to be ticketed. The good news is I actually was able to get some extra tickets for both events, so even if you don't have a ticket and even if you can't get in, I have a ticket for you. The Starfinder Society one, I might not have as many because I think I only have 1 or 2 extra tickets, but the good news is I have a full extra ticket for the Pathfinder 2 event. Again, Pathfinder 2 is Thursday night at 8 p.m., and Starfinder 2.00, which was run at Origins that I heard was awesome. I'm going to be running levels 1 and 2. I'm not going to be running at the higher level ones, and that is Friday at 8 o'clock. There's also a special for Pathfinder 1st Edition on Saturday night. I am not running that, unfortunately. I'm, going to some parties and doing some other fun stuff with the Grimmer Space guys, in fact, because that turned out to be a huge success, and it turns out I'm developing for it. I didn't even know I was doing that, but I guess I am now. And then finally, if you want to join some society games for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, there's going to be signups going up very, very soon on the Roll for Combat Discord channel. People have been posting some of the games that you can sign up for. It's not ready yet, but it's going to be very soon. So anyhow, do check that out. Just go to discord.rollforcombat.com and you can see and find out all about the upcoming games and sign up for them now. So again, show notes. Don't forget, new podcast every single Tuesday. Do subscribe to us on iTunes, Android, and Spotify. Don't forget, check out Jason's Talking Combat column every single Thursday. Do join the Discord channel, and those of you, I haven't seen this in a long time, guys. You get to level 10, you know what happens. You get a free t-shirt. All you got to do is post, and voila, you become level 10. It hasn't happened in quite a while, so I guess people, are you posting or do you not know about the rule? But, well, if you don't know about the rule, let people know. If anyone sees someone get to level 10, let them know they get a free t-shirt. Do follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and I started the Instagram up once again. I kind of stopped Instagram because I don't really love Instagram and the fact that you can't really, post links and stuff, and especially for podcasts, it's not great. But Instagram is super popular, and I figured out some other things that we can post. So we're going to be posting a lot more on Instagram because, damn, it's popular. So we're going to start going with that one again. And, of course, do check out the Patreon. We got some new people donating. Thank you so much. It helps out the show a lot. Anyhow, I got to go catch a flight in a few hours, and I still haven't packed. So I'll talk and see you guys next week. See ya.
You've been listening to Roll for Combat, a Starfinder actual play podcast. If you have a question or comment for the show, please visit us at rollforcombat.com or drop us a line at contact@rollforcombat.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and other social media platforms. You've been listening to Roll for Combat. Until next week, always remember Rusty Carter's motto, there's no I in team, but there is an M and an E.